Two words before starting. I want to thank him because he also removed something from my bucket list, because now being able to talk even briefly here has been very exciting. Louis Rosenberg is a pioneer, the very first developer of a system in 1992, of virtual reality in 93. He has 300 patents, among those the Philip technology that you have in your hands, that you used more than once. And I'm not going to hide that I'm really moved. You know, first I said, I'm not going to come here, I don't want to come, because I don't know. But then I was like, no, I'm going to moderate this. So I want to thank BTO very much. Then I want to thank Dr. Louis Rosenberg, because today is Thanksgiving Day, and he's still connected with us to be able to talk to us. So let's say Happy Thanksgiving to him all together. 1, 2, 3. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Louis. Again, it's an honor. I'm pretty nervous. I'm so sorry. I'm super fanboy when it comes to Rosenberg. Thank you for taking the time. I know it's Thanksgiving. I know it's 7:30 a.m. for you. So thank you. Okay.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me.
It would take probably half an hour just to introduce you and all the things you've done. I've done it quickly in Italian, so I would say we can skip that. And I will go with the first question, right? You've been awarded with 300 patents, right? And and to me, the number itself is mind-blowing. But I think, do you have one that you love in particular, of which you are particularly proud?
Yeah, so I've been involved in a lot of different technologies over the last 30 years plus, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence. The technology area that I'm the most excited about, in particular, is augmented reality and mixed reality, because I think we're finally getting to the point where it will soon impact our world. 30 years ago, I thought that augmented reality, virtual reality was going to be everywhere within 10 years. I was off by 20 years, but we're now getting close. And so 20 years ago, I had founded an augmented reality company called Outland Research, and I worked on a spatial computing technology that I still really hope happens in a big way. And it was the use of augmented reality glasses in a way that would link to your media player and make you feel like you're in your own music video. So if you're walking down the street, it would change what you see and sync to the music and make you either feel like you're in your own music video or feel like you're in a movie with your own soundtrack. And I still think that this is a really powerful and fun application, and I suspect that when this next generation of devices come out, especially from Apple early next year, their Vision Pro, that is really the first very, very high quality augmented reality, mixed reality device, we will see applications like that. We will see applications that change what it means to listen to music, change what it means to do a lot of things that become multimedia experiences. So so that was one of the more fun and interesting technologies that I worked on over the years.
Well, I totally agree with you. And I always say that for my kid that is now 3 years old, a smartphone will be obsolete, right? And so I'm totally with you. And on top of that, I just popped out in my Amazon suggestion that you have a new book coming out in March, right? So it's called Our Next Reality. You can pre-order it now on Amazon. And I've seen that there is a foreword by Neil Stephenson.
Yes.
If you don't know who Neil Stephenson is the guy that invented the word metaverse, okay? So just go online and pre-order the book. Can you tell us something about the book?
Sure. So the book is written by myself and Alvin Graylin, who is also very well known in the world of virtual reality and augmented reality, and has been the China president of the company HTC that makes a lot of the headsets. And we wrote the book in an interesting way where he focuses on the positive applications of virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence that are all going to converge in this new reality. And I focus on the risks and the dangers of those technologies. We both see both sides of the issue, but we thought it would be most interesting to kind of write the book as a debate, because so often most books about technology are just promoting. They're promoting the technology and don't really take a serious look at the risks. And so we really try to provide a balanced view, because this is happening. It's happening quickly, especially with the advancement of AI, which will drive virtual reality and augmented reality as well. And so I really do believe that we are now entering what will really be a new reality, where everything that we see and hear and interact with are going to be a mix of real and virtual, a mix of human intelligence and artificial intelligence. It's, the next 10 years are going to be really, really significant changes.
There's a book that I love, and it's Reality Plus. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. And amazing book. And again, it doesn't focus on the technology itself. It focuses on the ethical part. And it says, we still talk about virtual, augmented, and mixed reality versus real reality, but it's just semantics. In 10 years, that would be just reality, right? So I totally agree with you. But something that we saw, especially on this last couple of years, we saw several Gen AI systems, right? And one was the risk involved with fake news, but I would say more fake truths. That is probably even more dangerous. So can you tell us a little more about your feeling on the dangers of persuasion and manipulation when it comes to AI systems, especially Gen AI systems?
Yeah, so Gen AI obviously is having a huge impact, and it's causing concern among regulators and policymakers in a way that I think is actually a little bit short-sighted. Most of the concern people raise about these technologies is the ability for them to generate fake content, misinformation, disinformation at scale. So create images, photographs, videos at scale that are fake. And those are real risks, but that's really a familiar risk that's just amplified. That's not a new risk. To me, the new risk, and the one that regulators and policymakers haven't really focused on yet, is the impact of conversational AI, the impact of the fact that we are entering a computing revolution where those traditional forms of media, images, videos, documents, are going to be increasingly replaced by conversational systems where we talk to our computers and the computers talk back. And in fact, I would say that this is probably the most significant change we're going to see to computing in the very near term. Meaning, in 24 months from now, when we go to a website to get information, we will be engaged by virtual agents, virtual spokespeople, that we speak to those spokespeople, and that spokespeople speak back. And this isn't just like the Siri and Alexa and the type of conversations that we're familiar with in the past, because really voice interaction in the past was you issue a command and the computer just obeys the command. We're now entering a time where you talk to the computer talks back, you give information, the computer asks you for more information, the computer's keeping track of the context, the computer is expressing information with vocal inflection, and so it's genuine conversations. And so that's a positive thing in a lot of ways. Like, that's a far more natural way of computing than using a mouse and keyboard to click on things to just speak naturally. But there's dangers. And the dangers are the fact that conversational computing, conversational interactions will become a new form of targeted influence, a new form of misinformation, disinformation that is personalized on an individual basis and adapts to the user in real time. And so if you think of a human salesperson, right? So a human salesperson, they know that the best way to influence somebody is not to hand them a brochure or to say, hey, watch this video. A human salesperson knows the best way to influence somebody is to engage them in conversation, to start with some small talk that makes them feel comfortable, to ask them about their interests, to then make a sales pitch. And then as soon as the customer expresses objections or reservations, the salesperson will adjust his or her tactics to overcome those objections. Well, we're now entering a world where AI systems are going to do that. These virtual spokespeople, these virtual agents that are on websites, that whether it's to sell you a product or a service or to talk to you about a piece of information, they will be able to do these same things. These AI agents will sound human, they will look human, they will be able to read your facial expressions, read your vocal inflections, and as you interact with them, they will draw you into conversation in a casual way. They will extract information from you by asking you questions. They will give a sales pitch, whether it's for a product or even a piece of misinformation. And then as you express objections, they will work to overcome those objections. And they will do it with superhuman abilities. They will be more skilled at doing this than a human salesperson. Why? Well, first of all, they'll be trained more skillfully than a human salesperson. They'll be trained on cognitive psychology and cognitive biases and sales tactics. They will also have access to information, just like every website you go to has access to information. So they'll know about your background, your interests, your personality, your political persuasion. They'll know a lot about more than any salesperson knows. And so you're going to show up, you're going to be talking to this AI agent. It will know a lot about you. It will be very skilled at persuasion. It will have an influence objective that is either from a third-party advertiser, or maybe it's a piece of misinformation. And it will work to persuade you. And you, on the other hand, while this AI system will know a lot about you and be able to read your facial expressions and your vocal inflections, and you will know nothing about the AI that you're talking to. It might look like a human salesperson, and you might think that you can read its facial expressions and vocal inflections, but it's just a facade. We will be outmatched. It's not a fair fight between a human and an AI-driven agent that has the objective of influencing you to buy a product that you don't need, or to believe a piece of information that's just not true. And so far, most of the focus among regulators and policymakers has really not been at this interactive nature of AI. This fact that AI is not just about creating traditional content more easily. It's not just about creating documents that look real. It's ultimately about a new form of interaction, a new form of media, and we don't have the regulations in place, and we're not culturally ready for it, because as a human, when we see a virtual agent that looks really human and acts really human, we're gonna trust it. We're gonna feel like, oh yeah, it's acting all friendly, it's smiling, it likes the same sports team that I like, and it's all just algorithmic, and it will all just be a facade, and which it's really going to change a lot of things, and hopefully there will be regulations in place that protect people against this type of persuasion and manipulation.
So that's basically persuasion on steroids, we can say. And to a certain extent, it is already happening. Like I was reading that even now, more than 50% of the sales made on Alibaba are made via suggestion, not search. And I always say that we are living on a post-search world, because we don't search for stuff. Stuff is coming to us, and AI agents could be the perfect bridge to that. Would you agree?
Yes. So, and when we think about targeted influence and targeted advertising, It's currently it's currently very effective and very damaging in a lot of ways, but it's done on broad categories for people. You have a profile, and so the site that you're visiting knows things about you, and it will make suggestions that are broad for people like you. With the power of AI, that's now going to go down to the individual by individual level. So it will make suggestions that are specific for you, but it will also present information in ways that are customized for you. So think about generative AI obviously gives us the ability to create images and content super fast, super easily. Well, very soon, when you see an advertisement, even a static advertisement, it will be generated specifically for you, meaning the colors that are used, the layout that's used, the type of people that are shown, the type of clothing that they're wearing, the type of language that they use. It will all be generated based on what the system thinks will be most influential on you. And so advertising, and it will be more like, okay, here's the basic concept for the ad. We want to have a family in a minivan that's going to out into the wilderness, and then how it actually gets presented, down to the fonts and the colors and the voice, could be generated based on your history of what influences you the most, and that's super dangerous, and really should be illegal. But will it be? We don't know. Hopefully, there will be regulations in place that make that type of custom targeting cross the line from advertising to manipulation. And it will be even worse in virtual worlds. So those types of advertisements we're thinking about in traditional web environments will become adaptive, but in virtual worlds and augmented worlds where everything is spatial, now advertisements will become virtual product placements that are just put into your world. So you'll be walking down the street and you'll see somebody walk past you, drinking a Red Bull or some other drink, and you'll think that that's just a real person walking by. But no, that'll be a virtual product placement, and it was placed there for you. Other people walking down the same street will see something else, and so generative AI makes that possible, and virtual and augmented reality will make that immersive, and that combination becomes really the most dangerous environment for influencing people.
So that's basically what is happening now, like on Roblox with avatar advertisers, like going around and selling you food, but that will be in the real world, basically. Well, real, quote unquote.
Yes, so it will be, it will be in the real world if you're wearing augmented reality and mixed reality glasses. It will be in virtual worlds, and yes, in environments like Roblox, where you can now have immersive advertising. That's doubly dangerous because immersive content is more influential on people, and Roblox is mostly filled with kids, and kids are more susceptible to influence than adults. And so you could imagine a scenario where you're a kid in a virtual environment, and an artificial agent walks up to you that's giant teddy bear, and it looks cute, and it engages you in conversation, and it befriends you, and you're talking to this giant teddy bear, and then it gradually tries to tell you about a certain breakfast cereal or some other product that you should tell your parents to buy for you, or it's going to tell you about a piece of misinformation, which hopefully they'd be able to block that. But the potential influence that a big cute teddy bear could have on a kid when it's providing influence conversationally and is reacting to the kid's emotions as the kid reacts, and seeing what are they getting excited about, what are they not interested in. It's a level of influence that goes beyond what I think is fair advertising, and goes to manipulation, because we will be outmatched by the power of these systems.
Wow. Okay. That is a little dystopian. So I wanna close with something a little lighter. Last question. Think of traveling in 2050. Okay. So let's say tomorrow you come here for the 2050 edition of PTO. What happens? What is the customer journey and what you will see along the way?
Right. So, I mean, these technologies, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, certainly will impact travel in a lot of ways. In some ways, travel itself can become virtual, meaning, I could potentially participate and feel like I'm participating in a virtual way where I didn't actually have to travel. But putting that aside, let's assume that I'm actually physically traveling, which I think people will do, and even do more because of some of these technologies. And the most powerful, I think, is real-time translation, especially real-time translation combined with augmented reality. So certainly within that time frame, people will be wearing lightweight eyewear that looks stylish and it provides immersive content mixed with the real world. And you'll be wearing earbuds, and you will be able to communicate with anybody in their natural language, because it will automatically translate into your earbuds, and your voice will be automatically translated into their earbuds, and there will no longer be a language barrier at all. And I think we're actually not that far from that. I mean, those capabilities in terms of just mobile phone-based real-time translation that actually works is very close. But with augmented reality, it goes beyond that, because now all of the signage in this world will be automatically translated. And so you will look at a sign, and even if you're in a location where you're not even familiar with the alphabet, you will see that sign as if it was in your native language. And so getting around in a foreign city, especially a city where you're not even familiar with the alphabet, will be transformative. You will feel like you could go anywhere and get around and talk to anybody. And that's a huge transformation.
Wow. Luis, thank you so much. You're a rock star. It was great having you. And again, I want to see you again in 2050. So we'll see what you got right and what you got wrong. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day. Again, from all the people here, happy Thanksgiving, spending with your family and friends in real life or immersive life as well, whatever you like. And I always say, guys, the future is not what it used to be. It's very, very different. We just need to be prepared for it. So thank you so much, Luis. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for
Dr.
having
Luis
me.
Rosenberg, everybody, thank you. Grazie a tutti che siete rimasti fino alla fine, quindi è stato veramente, penso,
Thank you to all of you who stayed until the end, because I guess it has been quite difficult. Thank you so much. And let's see, we will meet next year. Thank you.